Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.
Dirk, many congratulations. One of the best games of the tournament so far. Just try and put your emotions into words for us after that.
Yeah, I knew it was going to be hard, but it felt a bit unnecessary that I was 2-1 down.
A 99 average, despite missing quite a few darts at double early on. Just how pleased were you with the character you showed to come back there?
Well, I'm not really pleased, because in my opinion I should have been 2-1 down. But I didn't know the averages. But I was just happy that I, all the way through, I kept believing that I was, because my darts were going well from the way I threw them. But then they didn't all go in. But I was happy. No, I wasn't happy. I was just believing, because I was like, if it will go in, I will win.
And after struggling early on the doubles, you hit 4 ton-plus finishes in the end, including that incredible 170. What was the turning point for you?
In my opinion, there was no turning point. It didn't feel... It felt great, but it didn't go great. So then I stepped like 1 step left to the hockey that, like normally I stand to the right. I started standing to the left, because like, you need to reset yourself. I went for treble 90s first dart at some point to reset yourself. And yeah, that's what it did to me. Like in the end, that's what did it. Can't say I'm really happy with the performance, but I'm not unhappy with the performance either.
But to say you're not too happy and still average almost 99 and score so well and perform so well when it really matters, that's awfully encouraging to build on going forward.
Yeah, but it's pointless to talk about the average, because I think I missed some very important things, and in the end I didn't. So, for instance, the 38 in set 2, leg 2. So leg 1, I'm a bit distracted by the wasp in the beginning. Go 42-59. Your throw is broken, but I've just broke his throw for the set. So then you have to break his throw back, and you miss 3 darts on 38. 2-0 down, make it 2-1, miss 1 dart, he get 1 dart, he takes it out. I mean, he was doing good things as well, and at the end it's satisfying that when you really needed it, you take the 100 pluses out. There's also still a thought where you think like, it shouldn't be this hard as it is.
Thanks, Dirk. Well done.
No problem.
Dirk, congratulations. Before your injury, we saw you produce brilliant darts, like that high level. Now, that last set and a bit, you seem to find that level again, and we see Michael van Gerwen and Luke Humphries also have that amazing level they can go to. Do you feel you're almost back in that category again, where you were before the injury now?
No, not really. Practicing-wise, maybe, yeah, but I think the biggest thing is the confidence. And the confidence is not even close to where it was.
How do you...
But my game is better. If I'm being honest, I think my game is like probably 10% better than it was peak. But my confidence is like 20% less than it was. If I sort that out, I'm way better than I was then.
That's a scary prospect for everyone else if you think your game is in a better place now than when it was, because you were doing damage then. So what damage can you do going forward?
Looking at game, mate.
Simple as that?
Yeah, but the last 2 years I lost first round. And this year I'm just happy that I won my first round, because I mean, he was at least top 8 toughest draw you can draw. And just happy that I beat him. And I didn't even look at the second round, because I was really fearing of losing again first round. So my practice was like unbelievably hard to myself, because like, oh, there's no holding down here in the first round, so I have to be very good.
Dirk, congratulations on the win. You mentioned that your confidence has dropped off a little bit, but is the belief still there? Do you still believe that you can have a really deep run here, and how much of that is still there from before?
Yeah, the belief is there, 100%, but not like it was. I mean, but it can be so easily be back. I mean, let's say if I win the next round, my confidence or the next 2 rounds, it can be back straight away. But you come like from like playing a lot of quarterfinals. I mean, the last 32 in every event was a bad result, and now sometimes you're just happy to make last 16 because your seeding is different. So you play better players earlier on. You don't beat them all the time. I mean, that's not even a confident thing. That's also a draw thing because the higher up in the seeds you are, the not easier, but let's be honest. If you play a top 8 player, or in the 3rd round or in the 5th round, at the end, you beat the not top 8 player more often than the top 8 player. So it's also a math thing, and I think all my old results before the injury are now gone. I'm 29th, which I think I'm better than that ranking. So by the next half year, I'm defending not a lot. I'm not defending match play. I'm not defending Grand Prix. So if I make sure I'll qualify for those events, means my Pro Tour ranking makes more than it did 2 years ago. Plus I make those events. If I do well there, I can right up be top 20, top 16 again. But I have to do well.
So do you think it is getting to those last 16s and further in these tournaments in the next year that is going to bring back that belief and confidence in yourself? Or is there something you've got to do away from the hockey maybe to bring back the confidence?
I do a lot away from the hockey to be as good as I can. Last 16 doesn't kind of cut it. It's like quarterfinals is the minimum you want to reach, because that's where the real money gets shared. But I think I have to work harder than I did last year, and because my focus was like I was injured. So your first focus is of not being injured again. Stop the injury. Then your second focus is not being injured again. So I'm fitnessing a lot to make sure all these muscles that were not working when I was injured are still working. Because the guy that I like, what's it called? No, way higher. Like guys that those knees and shoulders. Don't know the English one. No. You know it. Well, I've been within a lot. It doesn't really matter. But like the guy that does the surgeries on shoulders and knees, he said you're gonna have a fall back. It will come back. So this year, all my focus was on fitnessing so hard that all the muscles that needs to cover up for the injury are strong. So when I get the injury, it doesn't really bother me. So, but next year, I want to put all my time back in getting my top level again.
So in terms of this one with the draw, are you happy with the way the draws come out, James Farrell next, and looking forward towards that potential quarter-final? Are you eyeing this up as a real opportunity for you to make it again?
This guy, this one of the toughest first round draws. He says you're happy with the draw. Well, in a way I was happy with the draw because I couldn't think about he might hit the 75 average, because I knew my opponent was going to hit a 90 plus average. I'm not sure if he did, but I think he did. And from that point of view, I was happy with the draw because I couldn't think of not performing well, because the only thing I was going to win this first round was by performing well. So from that point of view, I liked my draw, and I didn't look to the second round either.
Congratulations, Dirk. What was preparation like ahead of the World Championship for you? What sorts of things did you do to prepare yourself for such a long tournament?
Through darts.
Simple as that?
Yeah, a lot.
A lot of darts. And how do you assess your performance overall there? I know you said that you were disappointed to be 2-1 down, but ultimately how you powered through in the final set with such a high average and all of those finishes. Surely part of you has to be pleased overall with that.
Yeah, but you don't know your average during the game. So that's like a after the game statistic. I can say I'm happy with the 100 plus finishes I did when I really needed to, because when I was 2-1 down, it really felt like I was done. And then I hit the 109 and 106. And then starting the last leg, you did the 170, 180s. Yeah, that gave some confidence. But like I said before, it felt good, but it didn't go good. But as long as you keep attaching like it feels good, in your head you feel like if it comes, it will go, and then we're done.
And a word for Andy Bartons, because he now loses his tour card as a result of that defeat. Is he way too good to lose his tour card, because he's shown in that game against you there, small glimpses of what he can do on the big stage?
Well, I don't think so. Because if you're being honest, if you don't make top 40 ranking, not top 40 on Pro Tour, and then perform like this, the only thing it means, like you don't have your priorities right. Because I saw an interview of him saying, I practice a lot for this game, I'm expecting a lot, and he was playing very, very good. It only means, like, if you can play like this and you don't do it all year, then you don't have your priorities right. Because your priority is probably in working. And it is hard, because you have to gamble sometimes to get rid of the certain money which the job gives, to practice more and perform better on a tour. But you have to be very clever to make more money than you can make on a tour when performing well. If you see like the way he plays tonight, you'd say he would always make this top 40 on the tour, or maybe at the end even top 40 in the world. So in some way, yes, to your question, but the other point, sort your priorities.
Thanks, Dirk.
Evening, Dirk. Great to meet you. You touched a little bit on your
We
shoulder.
didn't meet.
Well,
You was there.
meeting you now. But great to see you then in the press conference then.
Okay.
You touched earlier on your shoulder injury as well. How is the shoulder feeling at the minute? Because I know from other friends who've had nerve damage in the shoulder, it can be quite a long-term injury and pain. How is it feeling right now?
Well, it took me over a year, over 1.5 years, but it's done.
That's good. So when you were trying to play with that discomfort, can you just sort of give us an insight into what it was like trying to get through matches whilst having to fight against that at the time?
I know the names now. It's orthopedist for the guy. So in the beginning, you're just looking at what is the injury, because very bad. But some guy called himself the shoulder specialist, and he was the only guy that said I didn't have the injury that I thought I had. So I maybe lost 2 months looking for enough confirmation of the injury you had. And at some point you found it, and then you're trying to sort it, but you're Googling it as well. Everyone says it's minimum 1.5 years, well, minimum 2 years, and I think I did it quicker than 2 years, because I had days like I left my home at 7 in the morning, I came back 10 in the evening, just going to all sorts of specialists and sorting it out. So I think I did it quicker than normally would happen. But if I find the right guy, the orthopedist that I found at the end, I would have been done 3-4 months after it, because he had some special devices that really made it gone at the end. So, yeah.
Did it change the way you have to do things, not just on the hockey, but just in wider life as well? Like, what tasks became harder as a result of that injury?
All my events, because I was top 10 in the world. I looked at the rankings, I was like, if I have a decent last year, so I was looking at the rankings, my, I call it, cleared ranking was top 6 at that point. So I was looking for, like, if I do well, I can even go up to top 4. Instead of top 4 or top 6, I ended up number 16 for the next match play, because you didn't perform at all.
I mean, considering you've had to go through that as well, do like the victories feel even sweeter now you've had to go through that process?
In a way, yes, because you're having to ask questions about you lost first round 2 years in a row. It's not nice to have these questions, because you know there was a reason to, but if you just look at the stats, people say you lost 2 years in a row. So from that point of view, yes, but from the other point of view, I don't live in the past, so what's done is done. And it's going to be harder to come back, but I feel very motivated to come back.
And just finally, you spoke earlier about the quarter-final. That's the one you really focus on. But is there belief that you can actually perhaps get further than the quarter-final over here?
If I'm being honest, I'm looking at game by game. So I think the world has, well, they have like 3 stages. Before Christmas, definitely now with 2 games, normally 1 game, 2 games as a seed. Then you get 2 games after Christmas, and you got 3 games after New Year. And I mean, you don't want to look, don't want to be too short-sighted by just saying, and many people say, I want to be world champion, and everyone thinks like, you're never going to be it. But for me, I think, apart from 3 or 4 players, making quarterfinal is a very good result for the rest of them. And once you're in your quarterfinal, there's only 3 games more. But the first goal should be the quarterfinal, in my opinion. Well, obviously, every round is a goal, but to start it, then you won 4 games. So that's what I start with.
Thanks, Dirk. Great to meet you.
Introducing the Paddy Power World Darts Championship.